Hello there. Welcome to another episode of Topics with Mr. Javadi. I'm Payman Javadi, your host, and today we have the wonderful honor of being at Claire Barta's house and interviewing her, which we're about to, about what she does with classical music and what she does with Persian music ensemble, more particularly what she does with Greeley Philharmonic Orchestra and all of that stuff. So it's a treat because this lady, let me tell you, is one tremendous talent. So we're at her house and I'm about to start, so enjoy. Well, Claire, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
We really appreciate the opportunity. I guess one of the reasons why I got so intrigued about doing this is because I've been very impressed with how you've been playing Persian music, and you do it with the violin, am I right? Or do you also do it with the piano?
All violin.
Violin, yeah, and it always sounds just so organic and authentic, just like I was in Tehran or something.
Oh.
So it is really an amazing sound. But let me just go back a little bit, do a little backdrop here, because there's a lot to this lady. And so you're from Scottsbluff, Nebraska. How did music start for you? Did you start at grade school, or what was it?
My father and mother were both musicians. My father was my piano teacher.
I see.
And I did not start when I was 6. I started when I was 10.
Wow.
And so I was, according to other people nowadays, I was a late bloomer.
I see.
But I started on piano.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because I loved the violin, I loved the sound of the violin, that was when I got my father's, it was his mother's violin.
Okay.
So that was special. And I had that violin for up through middle school, and then I started taking lessons from a man in Laramie, the professor there, from 7th grade through 9th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And he helped me get a new violin.
I see.
Well, that violin I had for a while again, and then when I was, I don't know exactly age-wise, but my husband's family, he had a great uncle, his grandfather's brother, and he had a violin.
Wow.
And they came out to Nebraska and heard me play and just gave me the violin.
I see.
It's this violin, I'll get it.
Okay,
So
sure.
you can
That's great.
see.
So a lot of family history in this.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, I am fortunate
Yeah.
to have had parents who are musicians.
Yes, yes.
And even though there was a period of years that I didn't play as much, I have always loved music
Right.
and loved the violin. And this is the violin that his name was Uncle Irv,
Uncle Irv.
and he lived in Portland, Oregon. And I'm very fortunate because Portland, Oregon is very wet,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
humid.
Yes.
And my violin is in great shape.
Yeah, because I guess, am I right on this? Moisture doesn't do well with violin, or?
A certain amount of humidity is good
Yeah,
for the violin.
but beyond that.
And then it lived in
Yeah.
western Nebraska for,
Mhm.
well, probably from the time my daughter was about 5 till whenever I left. So I left Nebraska in 1996.
1996, okay.
Came to school
Uh-huh.
here at UNC.
At UNC, okay. University of Northern Colorado in Greeley. Yeah. So we are in Greeley, Colorado, and so you came to University of Northern Colorado, which I understand is also where Nick Nolte went to school for a short while. But you came here and you did your music training in classical music, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Then from there, is that how you ended up with the orchestra?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
And I came, I have to tell you the truth,
Uh-huh.
is that I came with very little confidence,
Okay.
even though I had played for a long time. So anyway, that was, something else. And I started with the Greeley Philharmonic. I was last chair in the second violin section,
Wow.
and that was fine.
Mm-hmm.
So, and over time, because I started in '96, I've been there since. Even during COVID, we did not play.
Okay.
We did not.
A lot of
play.
places were closed at that time. Yeah.
So 2 years, I think it was, that we didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that was my history with the Greeley Philharmonic.
And I have been to some of your concerts with the orchestra. Just fabulous, just fabulous. The shows are amazing. They're always run very professionally. And of course, what little I know about music, just from what I hear you play, it just sounds amazing. So thank you for providing that and doing that, and I guess our extended thanks to the orchestra as well. How did that develop into your connection with Persian Music Ensemble?
Well, I was playing at what was the community health? No, that's wrong. My brain's not working.
Oh no, that's fine.
The
The nursing home?
The
or
nursing home.
Yeah. On, was it on 13th Street or 16th Street?
It was on 16th.
16th Street, yeah.
And that was
yeah.
where your father was.
Right.
Briefly.
Yes.
So I played in there for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for about 4 years. Then when COVID came, they shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't been back.
I see.
But I was doing it then, and I went to the newspaper and I said, you really should do an article on how music helps these people.
Mm-hmm.
And they came, and they took a picture of me playing in the hall thing, and they got it wrong because they said she brings the orchestra to these people. Well, I did in a way, but that was not why I was doing it. I was doing it for them.
Yes.
And what can music do for people?
Yeah, it can lift them up.
And my picture was in the paper.
Mm-hmm.
So Farzin was he's always looking for people to play.
Mm-hmm.
And he called me up.
Okay.
And it was Tuesday, which is
Usually when he hosts it, yeah.
I call Tuesday Persian Day. Still do.
Yeah.
And so he invited me to come, and I went with my violin. And I played. That day I played some. Was very intimidated in a way because there were 8 or 10 guys. And I was the only woman.
Mm-hmm.
But it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I started then.
So basically, of course, your work with the orchestra has continued, but you were volunteering at the nursing homes, playing for the patients. And that's how Farzin Azer, who's the founder of Persian Music Ensemble, noticed you in the paper, called you, and you went, and that's how it began.
Yes.
And you've been with that group ever since. Now,
And that was 2012.
2012, yeah, that's about the year that my father died, yeah, yeah. So 2012, and now of course it's 25, so that's what, 13 years? Or,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's a long time, and let me tell you, the sound is amazing. I have listened, you know, my family is also somewhat musical. My brother plays piano, as you know. My mother sang.
I heard
And,
she was a very good singer.
Thank you, and we have musicians in the family who play the Iranian instrument tar, which is the equivalent of the, I guess you could say, the guitar in the Iranian tradition. And so I've listened, you know, to a lot of Iranian music just growing up. And when I hear you play, it's just so wonderful. It fits and it is so accommodating. And so I just find it very, very interesting. How do you go about the process? I mean, I'm sure there's some transitional things and that maybe you practice with, or how do you?
There was a big difference between listening to the kamancheh, which is the instrument that, you know, like Kehan Kalhor plays. Right. And so what I was doing, number one, I was starting to do improv, and I was teaching my students to do improv.
I should say that she also teaches piano lessons and violin lessons
and
also.
Viola lessons.
And viola lessons, yeah.
And that has helped me because I'm listening to this music and I can repeat what I hear. So I'm getting pretty good at improvisation. So that's the fun part. But what I had to learn to do was because the scales are different.
Yes, yes.
And I cannot imitate what the true musicians from Iran do. I cannot imitate that really, but I'm doing my best to kind of imitate that I can do.
You take it and make it your own in a way that it works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of the things is doing this sort of stuff. It's a technique that we don't do in Western music.
Okay.
Sometimes you might do it in jazz or something, but not really. I never grew up with jazz. But anyway, so you might be playing. It's a B flat, which a B flat's this note, but their note is not a B. It's not a B flat. It's somewhere in between.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I was doing when I was trying to imitate what I heard.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it almost sounds like the language alphabet, because in English and in Farsi we have some similar sounds perhaps phonetically, but it doesn't always translate, so you kind of have to figure out what you're saying based on what fits, I suppose.
I'm
yeah,
sure.
yeah, it kind of has that feel to it, but anyway. So, tell me a little bit about just your thoughts on Persian music in general and the culture in general.
Here's what's interesting. From the time I started school, which was 96, and I knew about Rumi before that, and I read the poems by Rumi, and they were translated by Coleman Barks, who doesn't know anything about Farsi. So I didn't know that at the time, but I loved the poetry.
Mhm.
I mean, you know, and since that time I have gotten books of people who are Persian who are translating the Rumi in original, and then they're put into Farsi. I mean, the Farsi is on the page.
Right, right. So you're looking at the Quatrains of Rumi, which is a book that Claire Barta has, which is very highly connected to Farsi, and I'll let her explain that a little bit. She just had to go get the book, so thanks for remaining with us on that. I'll let Claire talk about the book a little bit.
It says, one who passes my tomb will become spiritually drunk, and if he stops there, he will become drunk forever. Translated by Ibrahim Gamard and Rahwan Farhadi.
Mm-hmm.
It's my Bible. Because I loved Rumi before I knew anything.
Yeah.
And I didn't study the culture. I just knew that I loved Rumi. And
Now, Rumi is an Iranian poet, right?
he is.
Classical philosopher, Iranian poet, yeah.
And he
Yeah.
lived in like 1170,
Wow.
1200.
Yeah, yeah.
And the other poet that I loved was Hafiz.
Hafiz, yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't have well, I do too. I have one book that's translated by an Iranian. Because even the person who's translated all these Hafiz poems,
Mm-hmm.
he probably doesn't know that. He doesn't know Farsi either. And it's Daniel Ladinsky, and I shouldn't just go, oh, well, those aren't real, you know, those aren't real translations. So anyway, those were my two favorite poets. And when I met Farzine and met the Persian people, and I've learned more about the culture.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that Persians love poetry.
Yes, yes.
Persians love music
They
and
do.
poetry. You know, I saw the videos of when they.
I'll do the, yeah.
And what is that?
I think it's called, I think it's a religious ceremony. When they hit themselves in the back, are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
And I know it's part of a ritual.
Right, right.
And I just thought about that, and I thought, oh, that's pretty severe. But that was my impression, you know, at first. But then I realized, you know, Iran has never started a war. They didn't start a war. They were attacked by Iraq. Then there was the Iraq-Iran war, and that was horrible. It was horrible because so many Iranians died.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
that was then my impression of Iranians, is that they're really nice people, and they love the things I love.
Well, and that is very nice of you. I'm not so sure about the times of the Persian Empire. I think there was a lot of conquest then, but that's been many, many moons ago, as they say. And in contemporary times, I think you might be right. Yeah.
The Persian Empire.
Yeah.
Now, here's something that I learned from history, is that the Persian Empire, they brought in people into their empire, but it was, it's the carvings on, and I think that's Persepolis. They show people, you know, shaking hands with the conquered.
Right, right.
They were Sure. I mean, that was before, that was 500 years before Christ.
Yeah, right.
So, yes, they did conquer the Persian Empire. But you know what's interesting to me?
What's
American history. I remember history. We learned Roman history. We didn't even learn about South American history. So we learned Roman history, but they never talked about Persian history.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was wrong.
Well, all I can say is I'm just highly impressed, as you can see, with the fact that she immerses herself not just in the music, but in the culture, in the poetry, in the history, and of course she hangs out with the Persian Music Ensemble, which practices her understanding of the culture and the language and so on. This isn't anything she has to do, or you have to do, or even I have to do, but it's just something that she has a heart for different culture, and in this case we're very blessed that she's been very in tune with the Iranian culture. So with that having been said, Claire, I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you for everything you do with the Iranian music and the culture.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
For doing this.
This is Payman Javadi with Topics with Mr. Javadi. It's a new channel. I hope you enjoy it. We'll be in touch. Thanks.